Lostboys Cypher Circle is back in session. What's up, y'all? If you didn't know, I'm going to tell you, so now you do. This is home of all things artistic. If you got a song, a poem, a rap, some artwork, or just a discussion or a debate you want to have, this is the place to come get your thoughts and feelings heard. If you want to come on the show, message me, Dylan Lawler, on Facebook, or you can email me at lostboy420x@gmail.com. That's lostboy420x@gmail.com, or you can message me on Facebook at Dylan Lawler. Before we get started, as always, I just want to take a second to talk about mental health. It's something that affects all of us. It's something that affects our artwork and us as people. So as I always say to the artists, keep using your artwork, whatever it is, as an outlet and a therapy to get whatever that is going on inside out, and using it as a therapy. And to everyone else, I just want to say there is always someone to talk to, whether you think there is or not. I know that it can be hard to hear and hard to listen to, but there is a friend, a colleague. Call me, I'll talk to you. There's also a hotline. You can text at 988 or go to their website, lifelinecrisis.com, and you can find the numbers for your area code to call them. So with that out of the way, guys, or kind of piggybacking off of that, I should say, I also wanted to take a second. I forgot about BetterHelp. Thank you to our producer, Brandon, for putting that up on the screen. BetterHelp. It is also a website where you can get some help. What they do is they hook you up with an online therapist. They'll hook you up with them in under 48 hours. And if you don't vibe with them, they'll switch it out until you find someone you can actually talk to. And that's, fun for you to talk to and that you connect with. Therapy is expensive, so this is one of the cheapest things out there. As I was saying, though, kind of piggybacking off of the mental health thing, I just want to take a second to put a trigger warning out there. If you don't know what a trigger warning is it's in the name, a warning to let you know that things ahead might be triggering. We cover a lot of sensitive topics on this show. And so if there comes a topic or a poem or something that you don't like to hear, it will not offend me. And in the slightest, if you click out for a minute and come back, or if you stop watching the show entirely, I understand people have issues and that some things can be hard to hear. So that being said, there's your warning going ahead. Things might be triggering, but getting on with the show. Last week we had some great artists, and you guys voted for our man Pakram as your favorite artist. So I'm going to give him a shout out real quick and just play his flyer for you guys.
So you mad, huh? Yeah, you mad. You're mad because I'm not who you tried to make me out to be. You're mad because I have overcome every obstacle that you have purposely placed in my path with the intention of killing my destiny. You see, I've waited many years past the age that you had the audacity to say that I will probably be dead or completely locked away because being a fuck up flows in my veins because of DNA passed on my thought. Chip off the old block, they used to smile and say. Even told me that I was genetically destined to be nothing more than a motherfucking statistic. Bitch, are you serious?
Give it up for Pakram, everybody. We appreciate having him, and we're going to have him back again. Trust me, there is more to come. That being said, moving on with the show, I'd like to introduce you to our first artist. His name is Tyson Wallace. He's a poet. He's got a book out on Amazon right now called Passages in the Life of a Buffalo. If you want to follow him, you can find him on TikTok at tyson.wallace.po. Or on Instagram at Tyson Wallace Poetry, no spaces. So yeah, there's his introduction, and let me play his flyer and get him up here, guys.
This is called Scarecrow. Now cursed with a brain, the scarecrow begs for fire. Cigarette in hand, stuffed full of straw and regret toward the loss of blissful ignorance. Now cursed with a brain, the scarecrow doesn't sleep. His mind races through the night, wondering when it all changed. His life used to be full of color and song and yellow brick roads. Now it's full of gray and panic and little yellow pills, just to take the edge off, just to quiet his mind. The mind he begged and battled witches for. Sure, it wasn't always great. It was violent and full of flame and flying primates. But at the time, he was just too stupid to know any better. Now, cursed with the brain, he wants to give it all back. To forget. He would give anything to forget. How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. First off, I just want to say I love that piece. You can first of all, you can feel like the despair and the desperation in it, and I love just how you read it and how you perform that piece. And also, I love how you use like the Wizard of Oz metaphors to express the feelings and make them more vivid and paint that more vivid picture. And that last line, how about some fire, Scarecrow? It gives me chills, man.
Well, thank you so much. That's a really wonderful compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, no problem. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you started writing?
I'm 33. I'm currently living in the Pacific Northwest. I had this therapist when I was younger, probably 12, that suggested I journal for my, depression. But I just kind of felt like a dipshit trying to write to myself, and I told him that, and he suggested poetry, and it just did the trick, and I've been in love ever since. So here we are.
Nice. So it's always been like a therapy for you. That's
Absolutely.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I've been through a lot of therapists, and by far, writing has been the best that I've ever met.
Definitely agree.
Best therapist. The pen is the best therapist I've ever worked with, for sure.
Absolutely.
So what's the first piece you're going to be sharing with us tonight?
I'm gonna be doing this piece called Burgundy Rain first.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to drop myself out of here and we can get it going.
All right, thanks a lot. There's something not quite right with the scenery. Nothing here seems familiar to me at all. The hills have grown eyes, the trees sprouted tusks, the concrete is screaming at the top of its lungs. The humans are panicking, begging for grace, while the defeated preacher preaches that it's too late. Bury your guns, hide your head in the sand, before the asphalt wakes up and starts feeding again. The sky is spilling fire spread by poisonous winds, while the clouds slit their wrists to get one last rain in. I bathed in the warmth of the red from the skies. Oceans of rubies poured from pillowy white. So the ground opened up and started to bite. Being caught in the rain almost made me feel alive.
Or whatever the proper thing is to do for a poem.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. That was awesome. You have quite a way with words and quite a way of reading. I say this all the time. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I kind of have an ear for narration and whatnot. And you definitely have one of those voices that you don't mind listening to, and that really brings out the depth and the emotion in the words.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So, what inspired that piece, and when did you write it?
Wrote that piece probably 5 years ago now, and it was inspired just by that state of intense anxiety when it starts to kind of infect your environment and your surroundings, and there's kind of like an unfamiliarity with it because you're in that state of panic almost, and that's kind of what spawned the whole environment coming alive concept. So
I'm very familiar with that, and I love how you use those metaphors to paint a more vivid and clear picture in my head. You know what I mean? That's super dope, and that takes a lot of talent.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna bring the other artists up to see what they thought about it. Any questions or comments they have for you? Anybody have any questions or comments?
Man, I love your voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Go to bed, son.
I definitely have to get your book, so I'm going to get it.
Well, thank you very much. That'd be
I
excellent.
definitely want to read it.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys supporting each other. Like that's what this is all about. That's why I bring you guys up here to talk to each other and support each other and whatnot.
I love the line when he said the crowd cut itself just
Come back
to
here
make
just
me
now before
learn.
you
I
drop
said
it.
that was dope.
Well, thank you very much.
Influence, were you trying to say something?
No, I wasn't.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, no, that piece was awesome, man, for sure. And I'm definitely gonna check out your book too. If you want to check that out, that's on Amazon. It's called Passages in the Life of a Buffalo, correct?
That's correct. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of you.
Yeah, no problem. We'll catch you again in a few for your second piece.
Sounds great.
All right. All right, guys. Moving on to our second artist. You just saw a little bit of her, but I'm going to run her introduction real quick. She goes by Poetless Shakespeare. She's an author and a poet. She's got 2 books right now. One of them is out. You can get it now on Amazon. It's called DNA. That stands for Don't Never Assume. And the sequel to that book is coming out on Amazon on October 18th. So that's in just a few days here, guys. Like, 6 days? Yeah, 6 days. And if you want to follow her, you can, or check out some of her performances. You can find her on YouTube at r.e.d.design. That's spelled DESYGNZ, and then 956. So that's Red Design 956 on YouTube. And so yeah, I'm gonna play her flyer and get her up here, guys.
Show me the gateway to heaven, and I will show you an unconscious alleyway of lonely souls to hell. Damn. I'm not sure what my purpose is, but I know God did not put me here for nothing, because He makes nothing. As I sit in front of my dreams and we battle back and forth to see who's winning, who's not, you know that pit-pat. It has my mother wondering what is wrong with my child, but you see, the whole time what's wrong with me is I don't know me. God, I'm not sure why you made me the way you made me, but let's have a talk, God, you see. I'm not sure if you know that your creation is down here hurting, as the children would say. This is ghetto. I have to deal with untamed thoughts. I have to deal with my dreams, and not to mention I have to deal with no's. But see, they have become my best friend because every no has set me up to be the woman that I'm destined to be. Hear me when I say I am the lion of my kingdom, and my kingdom shall not fall, because I own that. And I stand behind that. I'm like a product. Bank me on that. I advise you to get your sponsorships ready, because I'm ready to take flight. And if you're not on this flight, I feel sorry for you. But you will know my name before I leave Virginia. You may not like me, you may not invite me back, but at the end of the day, you know who I am. I advise you to get your dreams in order, lady, because at the rate we're going, we need more of me walking around. This little black girl has been through more health and more hot water than anyone can imagine. But yet I still stand strong. I will be that little black girl that will go up to any door and knock it down and say, this is my residency, whether you like it or not. I won't be that little black girl that Hollywood will put out with no on-off switch. I will not pay rent somewhere that I have created. I am that little black girl that everyone will say, dang, I want to be just like her. You can, sis, because you are that little black girl.
Come on.
And
Damn, okay.
Look around you. Look where we are.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I am highly favored.
Hell yeah,
How
it's
is
good to have you
everyone
on.
doing? Thank you for having me on the show.
100%.
I'm
Thanks
super
for coming on.
excited.
It's good
No
to have you
problem.
on.
Thank you. It's good to
Um,
be here. Thank you.
That piece that I played
That
for
was
your
a
flyer.
freestyle. That
Oh,
was a
really? Yo,
freestyle.
let me just say that was powerful as fuck. And that was off the top of the head. Yo, that's talent, girl. That's talent.
I had to do that one because when I was at that event in Virginia, the mayor, he said something about our youth that really just, because I was not originally going to do it. I had something already picked out. But he was talking about the youth and how so much of the youth are just distracted from everything. I just thought I had to just tell my piece. So that's where they came from. I was really talking to people, but everybody thought it was a poem. But I'm like, okay, I was just a little conversation.
That's you told them, man. You told them. You out there spitting the truth. You telling them how it is. That's some power,
I
man.
be trying.
Hell
I
yeah.
be trying to.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you started?
So I started doing this poetry thing when I was in the 6th grade. So by me being little, like I'm really classified as a dwarf. So I'm only 4'6". So, when you go to school when you're not average height, kids are just mean anyway.
Yeah.
So
They'll pick out
I used to,
anything.
so I didn't, it wasn't really a thing of me being bullied because I used to fight a lot. Because if you say something to me, I was like, I'm going to defend myself because I felt like I had to.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in school one day and I got into a fight because the little girl was picking with me. And my principal, Dr. Andre Bunda, I'll never forget it. He said, I'm going to put you out. I'm gonna put you out right now, and I'm gonna make you go to a school that you have to catch 3 buses. And I was crying. I was like, I'm not going home and tell my mother I got put out of school for fighting. I'm not about to do that. That's what I'm not about to do. So he said, you have 2 choices. You either get suspended, expelled, or you do the slam poetry contest at the school. So I was like, bump it. I do it.
Damn.
So I wind up doing. So I wind up doing Maya Angelou, Phenomenal Woman, not realizing the meaning behind it. My whole thing was I just don't want to get in trouble. I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna get in trouble. But after I did that poem, and my teacher came up to me and she looked at me, she said, "You have all that aggression. Won't you do something positive with it?" And I was like, "Okay." And I just started writing ever since. So that's how I got started with it, and I just kept going on and on from it.
Hell yeah. Hell
So it
yeah.
became my best friend. It really became my best friend. Like that's where I can go at. Whenever I want to say something, I know I'm not at the right place at the right time to say what I want to say. I write it down. I can't get in trouble for that. Nobody know what you wrote down long as you don't show it. You got to keep it to yourself.
Oh
So.
yeah. Oh yeah. I discovered my thing for writing somewhere around like 4th or 5th grade, somewhere around the same age.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of, I'm a little bit dyslexic. I have extreme ADHD. I got a bunch of stuff going on up here, and it was always
Right.
made it very hard for me to do schoolwork. But then
Mm-hmm.
once I started writing and like paying attention, because that's the thing, as I didn't pay attention, but I started paying attention in English class. I was like, yo, I'm good at this English class thing. And then I started winning awards for English, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh shit, I can actually do something with this, And
Exactly.
the first thing I ever wrote, like actually sat down. I mean, I wrote my little stories when I was a kid, but everything I like actually wrote, the first thing I wrote was a self-help book.
Oh,
And I
okay.
started and I laminated a bunch of copies and I started passing it out to kids at my school. And I actually had a couple people come up, like a couple kids come up to me in tears, like saying that it helped them. And I was only like 10, 11 years old. And I was like,
That's powerful.
that's the kind of energy I want for the rest of my fucking life. Like I want
Exactly.
getting this energy out and getting that back. Like not people crying, obviously, but just that
Right.
kind of, like you helped me, like, and that's why I do this show. Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, yeah, and everybody kind of discovers himself in that middle school age, and yeah,
Exactly.
I feel
Exactly. You are definitely right. You are definitely right. I think that's when you determine who you want to be, or you know who you are going to be at that age. Some people don't, but some people you have a good idea generally around what you will tolerate and what you won't.
yeah. Generally, it's between about like 11 or 12 and 17 or 18. Like you in those
Mm-hmm.
middle school, high school years, that's the most important part of your life. And
Yep.
the other thing I tell people, and I mean, I've had I have not yet had any teenagers on the show, but I'm not opposed to the idea, and I'm not opposed
Mm-hmm.
to coming and sharing their pain and their suffering, because here's
Oh,
the
that
thing.
would be dope.
Sometimes people make light of a teenager's pain and suffering because they're, oh, you don't have to deal with adult problems, blah blah blah, like bills,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't realize they're going through the most emotional time in their life.
Exactly.
It is the
Exactly.
hardest for them mentally, you know, for for anybody that's that age, because they got all the hormones on top of whatever else they're going through in life.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I would definitely agree with you.
Absolutely. Anyway, so we'll get to your first piece. What's the first piece you're going to be sharing with us tonight?
So I guess the first piece, since I figured out, is going to be "Ode to the Poet." So it's like a letter to me, if you will. So something off the top of my head, real quick, that I can think of.
Ode to the Poet. All right.
Ode to the poet that sits there and she cries because her pen won't write her pain. Somehow her pain and her happiness got mixed up in the ink, and that's why it won't show on the page, because everything she feels, it seems like it's not going to work. Ode to the poet who gets up on her best days and feel like it's her worst days, even though she knows she can make it through. I'm not sure if she understands where she's coming from or where she's going, but she know one thing: she's going to make it through this day. Ode to the poet who looks up at everything as a sure sign, as a positive sight to make it through. Maybe one day I'll be able to write my story and it'll be happy as I know it could be, or maybe it just be a glimmy little start of my pathway to where I want to be. But to this poet, I want to say that you are doing an amazing job. You are the bomb. I'm not sure if I tell you this enough, and I know you need me to tell you more than anybody, because society does not write who you are, determine where you're going. So sometimes I have to remind you of who you are. And though I don't tell you enough, but I do love you and I support and I accept what you do. Even though we might not have our good days, and sometimes I might not even look at you, I might not even like you, and vice versa. But there's nothing that I can do without you. You have become my voice of reasoning when I don't even feel like talking. Sometimes I want to scream, but you always bring me down to my calmness. I guess that's why God made me a poet, because he knew I can handle it. Not everybody is built for this. This is built for tough. Sometimes you have to make yourself feel like you're better when you know your emotions is tearing you apart. Sometimes I feel right now that there's a border that's pouring down on me, but I know I can lift it up because I am Superwoman. Bump that. I am better than Superwoman. Sometimes I feel like the Joker on my best days, and I give you my Harley Quinn grin, and I know I'm going to rainstorm. I'm not sure of the destruction that I'm going to do, but I'm sure at the end of the day, I will make sure that your life is great. Sometimes we need to cry because you say it's supposed to cleanse our soul, but sometimes your soul be so cleansed with unhappiness that you don't know what to do. Ode to the poet who find every single nick and cranny to write about. Ode to the metaphors who keep me up at night, and ode to the sonics that makes me smile. Ode to the poet who feel like she's not doing her best, but I'm telling you, you are doing more than your best. You are it. Through your manic phase, you have tore down mountains that no one said you would get through. When you're not in your manic days, you are setting up the destruction because you know there's buildings in your way. I just want to let the poet know that keep on doing what you're doing, because your pen is writing for you. Even though you might not want it to write what you want, but it's writing your truth, and you have to accept that. Oh, to the poet who I don't acknowledge enough, I'm so sorry that we are stuck here. And I'm sorry that I have to even say this to you, but I'm sorry. Maybe one day we'll get through this, but until then, keep writing, sis, because I need your love. In peace.
That was a beautiful ode and a fantastic letter to yourself. I mean, I actually I had an artist on here either last week or the week before, and she did. I'll have to send you her information because you guys would get along very
Yes,
well.
definitely. I love networking with people.
Hell yeah, she did a piece that was very similar. And it was those are some of my favorite types of pieces. Those pieces where you kind of deep, thoughtful, where you retrospective, where you talk to yourself, and and so with those pieces, talking to like your past self, being able to say I'm sorry, and being able to forgive yourself, and being able to admit that the things that you went through made you who you are, and kind of saying to yourself, like, shit's hard, but that's what's gonna make you stronger. That's what's gonna make you stronger. Like, don't worry, I got you, because I am you, and you know what I mean. And we got here together, and that
we
was
are our biggest critics. And we
100%.
don't realize that. We are our biggest. We will put our own stuff down before anybody else has the opportunity to. And we don't
100%.
realize that. We definitely don't. And I know I do. And I'm speaking in my truth. Because sometimes I can write something real dope. Like I could sit there. You know how you write something? You be like, I can't believe I just did that. You know, like, oh, and you like with the poem, like I'm not joking. When you played my flyer, I forgot how dope I am. Then looking at myself, I'm like, wow, I did that. Oh, snaps to me, but you need that. But sometimes
Yeah.
I'll write something, then the first thing in my mind was like, now what about if I tell somebody this and they don't feel it? Then I'm gonna be all mad. So I'll put myself there before anybody else get the opportunity to. So that's why I have to big up my producer, like my producer all the time. When I say I go to him, that's my best friend. He's more than just my producer. When I call, he go by Exoskeleton. He does everything. He does my designs, my logos. He's a one man shop. Anything that I need, he's it. So when I call him, and it's so crazy because it's like we both go through our mental illness, so we understand each other. So it's like when I pick up the phone and I call him and he answers, I got you. Don't even worry about it. Don't even
Oh,
worry
yeah.
about it. I got a pen for you. I got a notebook for you. Don't even worry about it. And vice versa. When he calls me, it's like, don't even worry about it. I got a hot 16 for you. And that's how
Hell
we
yeah.
vibe. That's how we get through. We don't have to say nothing. Like when
That's
I
how
say,
that's how I am with my producer Brandon. Like we anytime, any day, like we call each other up, like right there. Like it's good to have someone in your corner, having your back.
mhm,
You know, you need someone like
exactly.
that. You need
Cause
someone
it's
like
like when this came up, I didn't have to do nothing. When you told me what you need, I sent it right over to him. He was like, I got it. I was like, I know.
oh yeah.
I ain't worrying
No,
about it. I was like, I
he
ain't
sent
worrying
me
about it.
and I'm not, this is not a dig on anyone I've had on the show. They're all fantastic people, but you would be surprised how hard it is to get these videos from people and for the flyers and just to get all the things I need. And I'm the type of person where like I'm so polite. I don't want to pester people and be like, you know, I know some
Exactly.
people got things going on, but it's like I really need this
Like
to get, you know, to get, but so sometimes I got to get on people and
right,
but like I'm super polite, so I don't like to do that. But yeah,
right.
your producer, he dropped it all in one message, all in one message, just boop 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 boop. Or it was multiple messages, but all in one go. It was just yeah, and yeah. So shout out to him, fantastic. That's
But
awesome, man.
whenever I tell him I need something, half the time if he know that I have to do an interview or show anything, I don't do nothing. He be like, I got it, so I just shut up. And so we have a joke where it's like we're driving. So I'm like, hey, I gotta do this. He be like, you're in my lane. I said, okay, I'm gonna make it right here at this exit. I'm leaving. He said, yeah, get off my exit, please. Leave me alone. I got this. So when I had sent him over everything that you needed, I had called him. I said, hey, he's like, if you call me, I know what you're calling me for. Leave me alone. I got this. I know what I'm saying. I'm like, all right, bye then. And I hung up on him. So when I had sent you the message, you were like, he already sent him. I was like, I know he did. In my mind, I was like, I know he did. I don't even know why I did that. He got me. But that's just him. Like, that's just our vibe. That's our whole
You
vibe.
messaged me and you were like, oh, I'll get it to you later. And I was like, I already got it. yeah. So shout out to him for
because
sure.
I forgot. I didn't know how fast he worked. Because matter of fact, when I had messaged you, I had already sent him the message that you sent me what he needed. So when I had sent him that, he was at work, so I wasn't thinking that he had his laptop with, because he goes nowhere. But when I say nowhere, without his laptop, nowhere. Like he's taking that with him. That's his thing. That's his comfort zone. So when I had sent you the message, like, he'll give it to you later, 'cause I'm thinking he was going to do it when he got home. When he was like, he already got me. Oh, he did it while he was on break. I said, see, that's why I love my producer.
That's dope.
I ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Real quick, I'm just gonna bring the other artists up to see if they have any questions or comments for you or any feedback about your piece that you did.
Man, I tell you what, I
Hey,
love your
everybody.
energy. I love your energy, man. It's like
Thank you.
you made me tired just watching you. I was like, and this girl is 4'6". She got to be a little bundle. Like, it's crazy. That was awesome.
That's me.
That
Thank
was awesome.
you.
I'm definitely going to be buying your book as well. That was fantastic.
Definitely. Like I said, I would like to network with all of the poets. I love networking with people. I always support people because poets, we need the support.
Absolutely.
100%.
Like I
do
would
this.
support any and everybody. I support everybody. As long as you support me, I support. Even if you don't support me, I'm still going to support you. Point blank, period. Because everybody needs that, and that's just how I am.
Nice. I'm ready.
Thank you for the support, and thank you guys for supporting each other. If you want to go get her book, it's on Amazon. It's called Don't Never Assume. That's DNA. She's looking it up right now, and the sequel's coming out in 6 days, on October 18th.
Oh, I have to mail yours to you because I'm gonna send you one for having me on the show. So you definitely have to get both books. So I have to get both books to you.
All right, cool. We'll catch you in a little bit for your second piece. All right, guys, we are gonna get Influence the Masses up here. Y'all already know him. I don't even have to introduce him. He's coming here, speaking Bibles of truth, teaching us how to be amazing on purpose. As always, if you want to follow him, you can get him on on YouTube at Influence the Masses. He's got a book out on Amazon called The Transition, and you can also follow him on TikTok at Garnett Rogers 677. Y'all already know who he is, man. Let's get him up here.
Show me the gateway to heaven, and I will show you
My Father Forgives. Let's go. And it's dedicated to the Tyre Nichols family.
Let's hear it.
Crooked cops take me in a dark alley. They say to teach this boy a lesson. Everybody gets hit with a black stick. They call it dirty dancing. It's all good when the black man gets what he deserves for resisting arrest and giving us physical contact. But God said, I gotta forgive the police for Tyre. What you mean? I mean, in due time. God said, I have to forgive the police for Tyre. With my kind in the jungle, police don't even take warning shots. Close range chest shots. He's in handcuffs. I wonder why his heart stopped. When you saw Kaepernick bending down on the football field on one knee, but do you know what it feels like at night when you go to sleep, knowing that the cops killed one of your seeds? But God said, I gotta forgive the police for Tyre. What you mean? I mean, in due time. God said, I gotta forgive the police for Tyre. Mamas are crying in silence. The devil loves the violence. Kids on the block still dying. Under oath, police still lying. Telling the public they sorry for the lying. Tyre Nichols gone way too soon. When we gonna put another black man on the moon? But God said, in due time, when my heart is right, I gotta forgive the police for Tyre. My Father Forgives. Inspired by Influence the. Yeah.
Hey, man.
There you go.
How you doing? That shit
Man,
hits.
I'm doing well. Can you hear me?
Definitely.
Okay.
That shit hits hard every time, man.
Oh, hold on real quick. Hold on.
One second, guys. We just got a little bit of technical difficulties. Well, Garnett fixes it.
Okay, I'm here.
You good? All right.
Yeah, I'm good.
I can hear you. You good?
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah. What you doing?
Well, this one right here, man. I'm about to make some enemies with this, man, because I got to talk about the LGBT. Because God said it's an abomination, man, and He said it's not right, and He said we can't do it. He said we can love the person, but we can hate the sin. So I'm about to convict somebody today. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to change some minds. I'm about to make some enemies because for you to change in life, you have to be offended. You have to conflicted. You have to be upset about something for you to change what you've been doing. So for you to step out of the past and go into the new you have to be rubbed the wrong way. Something has to say, man, that's enough is enough. So this piece I got tonight is entitled, It Wasn't on the Menu.
Okay. All right. Well,
It wasn't on the menu.
let's hear it.
The Bible talks about same-sex relationships. Now, the world is okay with it, but the church used to say this is not the Lord's way. But now the church has a gay pastor, and is no longer the first lady. Now it's the pastor and the first man. Transgenders, bisexuals, and gay will not inherit the kingdom. The Bible says the dogs will be left outside the gate. With that spirit on you, you're already defeated. And any works you do for the kingdom, you will fail. They won't even prosper. My kids shouldn't have to see gay pride outside. Two men kissing over a cup of coffee. Now I see rainbow flags hanging from the church by the dozens. And a big sign that says, gay men's choir coming to a church near you. Transgenders, bisexuals, and gay will not inherit the kingdom. The Bible says the dogs will be left outside the gate. And you brothers in the church on the down low, yep, doing praise and worship, you in the bathroom getting real low. But the Lord yells out, no! These new age Christians, one word, whoa. Sodom and Gomorrah has to go. While the Sodomites are beating at my front door. Lord, please let me find 10 righteous men. Lord, please let me find 10 righteous men. Lord, please let me find 10 righteous men. Too late, my son. The rapture has already begun. Transgenders, bisexuals, and gay will not inherit the kingdom. The Bible says the dogs will be left outside the gate. It wasn't on the menu. Influence the masses.
Fantastic piece, man. Great performance as always. I appreciate you coming up here. I appreciate you coming up here and speaking your truth. Do you want to tell us, like, I mean, you told us a little bit about the piece beforehand, but you want to tell us, like, when you wrote it?
I wrote it during the time. It's been a while, brother. I wrote it during the time Obama was passing a bill for gay marriage, so he'd get elected again for another 4 years. And he was just letting everything under the rug just pass through so he can get voted, brother. That's when I wrote it. That's when I came up with it. That's when it came on my heart. And I said, I got to speak about it. I said, I'm going to get some enemies. I said, people going to, you know what I'm saying, probably give death threats. People probably going to get on my Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ban me. Do what you got to do. But my thing, what I say about it, if God opened that door for you, can't no man close it. That's what I tell him. If he opened it for you, if he opened it for me, then I'm walking through it. And can't nobody stop it. You know, no witches, no warlocks, no demons, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? Can't stop it. So that's what I came up with it, brother. I said it in San Francisco. I did it in San Francisco. They was upset. I do it wherever I go. I have to do it. God said you have to speak about it. You got to speak on it. It has to be heard, you know, and this is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you have something that you feel needs to be talked about, it doesn't matter who agrees with it, who doesn't. You know, you got to come out here. You got to speak your truth. You got to, you know what I mean? And a lot of people might disagree with it. And you know what? It's all. Here's the thing: is the real ones, the real mature people will be able to disagree with it, but still like you as an artist and support you as an artist and clap for you at the end or whatever. You know what I mean? Those are the real people who are in it for the art and for the freedom of expression, because that's what this is. No matter what your opinion is, it's the freedom of expression. And
that's why I love being a poet, brother.
God says you got to do it. You got to fucking do it. You got to go out there.
You got to do it.
I 100% agree with you, man. And so first of all, thank you for being brave enough to come out here and speak a truth that you strongly believe in, but a lot of people will fucking hate, and that, you know, could cause yourself personal and mental harm. You know, that takes bravery to come out and speak your truth. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother. I'm gonna have to go ahead to work, man. So I'm only doing one tonight. That's gonna be my only piece.
All right, man. No problem. I'll catch you later.
All right. God bless. Right. Love you back.
Have a good one, man. All right. We will bring up our fourth artist then. Apologize that Influence the Masses couldn't stay and get feedback from the other artists, but we will bring up our fourth artist today and get the show rolling. So this artist, his name is James Hamilton. He's a poet. He's currently touring and doing poetry events in Wisconsin. He is a regular on the, I can't pronounce it. Neurotic. Maybe that's neurotic. Is that the word neurotic? I'm so dyslexic. Anyway, NUYORICAN, Poets Cafe show on Mondays. He's on there most Mondays if he's not doing shows or touring or stuff like that. If you want to find that show, you can find it at NUYORICAN.org. He also helps out in community outreach projects, helping like the addiction recovery community and rehab and things like that. He has multiple books out on Amazon right now. First on the list, we got American Junkie, Life, Love, and Loss. The second is My Maniac Mind. The third is My Nature Darkly. And the fourth is Why, with a question mark, which all sound like very intriguing titles, and I got to check all of those out. If you want to check them out, you can go on Amazon and find those, or you can go to Facebook at James Hamilton Author, or on YouTube at James Hamilton 8243. So without further ado, let's play his flyer and get him up here. Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Listen, it's a New York Poets Cafe in New York City. Actually, it's been around for like 50 years. Everybody from Kerouac to Ginsberg, everybody has been there, man.
I apologize. I apologize for that. Like I said, I was reading all sorts of words. I'm so dyslexic, and it's like 5 feet away from me, and I'm like, we'll just let him say it.
Yep, no doubt,
Awesome,
no doubt.
Man. I'll definitely have to check out.
Thanks for having me. I apologize. I've been kind of just a hot mess, and I double booked tonight. I actually did a live mic and then shot over here to my studio really, really quick. So I apologize for sliding in late with hot pants.
No, it's all right. I appreciate it. Listen, no one even noticed. I'm the only one that saw that you were late. So yeah. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate you going all the way over to your studio and doing this for us.
Yeah.
So you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you started writing?
My grandmother's a published author. She, back in the 80s, she had a Harlequin romance book, and very culturally influenced in my life. So I always wanted to be a writer. And then I found drugs and alcohol. And it kind of spun me out of control. So I got a late start in being able to actually start getting stuff on. I'm a believer in sobriety today, and I'm a believer in the fact that being sober allows those messages from the universe to come in. I know the one poet was talking about how, you write something and you go, man, where the hell did that come from? It's coming from the universe because it's supposed to be out there. We're just vessels. You could call it God if you want to. I call it an energy source, but it comes in. And I had that blocked for a long time, 2/3 of my life. And then, I started putting verse down. I'm not a handwriter. I got my phone, I got a note program, and I dictate and I write into that phone. And I kept it to myself. And then I ran across a gal who had an English degree, and she read it. She's like, you got a style here. You should submit. And I'm thinking, I got a style. I don't know shit about poetry. I was like, what? And so about a year later, she come around again. She said, are you still doing that? And I said, yeah. And I showed her some more stuff and compiled it and sent it out to a publisher, and they took it. So I was like, okay, so now I guess I'm a writer. COVID happened right after that. And I was like, man, if I'm ever going to do this, because I was deemed at that point non-essential, which didn't offend me, but, you know, and I figured, what the heck? I'm going to write books.
A lot of us were.
Yeah, pretty much.
And a lot of us were like, what? Not essential? What do you mean? Yeah.
I was not butthurt by it at all. I was like, you know what? I've been unessential most of my life, so I get used to it, you know. But the thing was, I thought I'm going to write books. Then I'm going to do it, and I get published, and I said put out book number 2, and I'm checking sales, and I'm still eating ramens and corn and shit, you know. So I'm like, what do I got to do? Talk to a couple people. They're like, you need to get out and read this shit, you know. Books are great, and I do sell them when I'm around, but I sell them because I'm out there and I'm spilling on open mics and live shows and stuff all over the place. So I think, you know, it's my career now. This is what I do, you know. And somebody else, or I think I heard earlier, you know, he said it's kind of, you got to get the stuff out. For me, it's total catharsis. It is therapy for me to do this and connect with the universe in that way, and then share that message. That's what my mission is in life now. So
100%. That's I definitely vibe with you on that. That is my mission as well. And I mean, I noticed, you know, something that I connect with as well is as soon as I started doing this show, you know, not only did people start caring about my own poetry that I was writing more, not that they didn't care about it before, but just, you know, when I'm putting this energy out into the universe and I'm connecting with all these people, it's just coming back in so many amazing ways. And like you were saying, like, I believe that too, like whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, like you just channel this energy that comes through you. And you know, and your job is to take that energy and put it back out into the universe so it can come full circle back to you.
I think it's a two-way communication. I do. Like you said, you put it out, it comes back. And the best part is we got this great technology now. It's all wireless. You don't even have to put on a tinfoil hat for it to happen, man. It just comes.
Yeah. Just like click of the button. Click of the button. Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm only 22. If I was born even 3 or 4 years earlier, I would not be able to do this right now. We probably would not have this platform. I don't know how long this app that I'm using is thing, but technology has come a long way even in the last like 5 years. Oh, sorry. No problem. One second, guys. We're gonna play his flyer over again. Will that happen?
My father forgives.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. We kept the show rolling. We're good.
I think that's your phone calling me.
Yeah. My phone. No, I don't think so. All
right.
Anyway, well, I appreciate you coming on. What is can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I don't know, but here we go. So yeah, the piece that I got for you, first piece I got for you tonight is called Forward. I wrote this last week. I just put it together. I read it on the open mic tonight, and I'm going to do it for you. It's the first time I've ever done it on the air like this. So,
all right, cool. Let's hear it.
All right. After I die, I wonder, will the world be better or worse? Will someone carry on my words, verse after verse, alliterating letter upon letter, the way the spill was intended? How the lines rhyme and non-rhymes befriended? Will anyone see the words and feelings that came out of me had purpose to bolster people's beliefs, to give insight toward a better world, and if for a fleeting moment, to apply a needed reprieve, a break from the drugs and the crime and the unemployment lines, from abuse and violence, anxiety and reticence, from homelessness and depression, grief and regression, and relapse and doing time, overthinking in their manic minds, a vacation from their nature darkly, fear, social media, the news, and tainted information unwise? Or will everything just stay the same? Toxic patterns of trauma, name-calling, poverty, and misplaced blame, active social discord, starving for connections gained, fake news, sensationalized trials, a never-ending cycle of misery, suffering, and bile, shampooing, lather, rinse, repeat again and again, over and over, without ever getting over. The overdoses, the death, the cold nights, the concrete pillows, the never rights, the black eyes, the never good enoughs, the whys, uncertainty, lost dignity, too fat, too skinny, too blonde, too black, the loose understanding of infinity, the loss of self and distance from divinity, and the never-ending strife. Yeah. While I'm still alive, though, here in this life, this is the shit that keeps me up at night.
Fantastic, dude. That was awesome. That was awesome. I mean,
Thank you.
you have quite a way with words. I said this to Tyson, and I say this to a lot of people. I mean, I had so many talented people on here, and you guys always surprise me. Like, not that I don't think you're talented from the get-go, but then when I hear your work or I hear you perform, it blows my mind. Your word choice, the way you put things together, and I mean, just the general message of it all. And like, I liked how you're kind of, you were saying the same thing I was saying earlier, how you use these are the things that keep you up at night. And these are the things you use to build your legacy and build, this is what's going to be here when I'm gone. And that's all. Right. And use it. Yeah. Use it to heal as the person. And you conveyed that very well, all in that one piece. That was
Thank you.
Fantastic. When you already told me when you wrote it. It's been a long day. My bad. So what kind of inspired it? Like what was it a certain line that came to you? Was it a thought? What was the?
I started out with this reflection type of motif. I had written another piece called Recollection, and I could not put in that. So thinking about the first line there, when I die, and I was like, that's got to be expounded on. And it was something I was trying to fit into this other piece, and I was going, it's more of a concept on its own, And so I also write differently today. Like when I started, in especially in books like 2 and 3, it wasn't so much about how I could alliterate it or read it out, out loud. And now I think I've morphed into more of a writer that actually writes for being able to recite it.
Yeah.
And it just so I had these other couple of sections in there about the drugs and the crime, and then the singular stuff at the bottom there, too blonde, too black, too fat, too skinny. And I wanted to have that little rap in there like that, and it just came together. The universe provides.
That was good, and that flowed well. And I mean, anybody who can put poetry together, it doesn't even always have to rhyme, but make it flow well, that's rap. I mean, rap actually stands for rhyme, or not rhyme, but rhythm and poetry. So It's not about rhyming; it's rhythm and poetry. And so anytime I hear a poet with like a good flow, I'm like, bars. He's got bars. I mean, and that what you were talking about, writing more for an audience. It's because you started, you didn't start off with the performing, and then as you sort of got more into the performing or whatever, it kind of clicked in that mindset. And I relate to that a lot. Before this, I was a regular on another show before I started organizing my own show. And since I started doing this, and since I started doing my own show, it definitely gave me that mindset of like, okay, this is a performance. This is something, you know what I mean? And it, I definitely pay attention a lot to like how I say things and certain things like that. I also relate to like the way you were saying that you write. Like I sometimes will have two different pieces and incorporate them together and jam them together, or I'll have one piece that's like, no, this is actually two ideas. I should separate this and make it two ideas. So I definitely get what you're saying on that.
So it's funny. I was sitting in a workshop last week. It's kind of an open mic thing, but it's morphed into this workshop thing. It's in an art center about mid-state, and I talked to a lady, and she was doing kind of the same thing. She would read or write singular pieces, but then find when she read them out loud that they would link together. And it was kind of I was kind of happy to see that, because each piece as art stands alone. And then I kind of worried about, do I lose it? Does a piece lose integrity when I link two pieces together? And sometimes I might even throw an extra line in there for a live show to make the flow from one piece to the next. But I was worried at first about, does that take away from the individual sanctity of the piece? And it was nice to be able to talk with another artist about it and see that, I'm not the only one that's doing that. So
I definitely understand that. I mean, there's you're familiar with like a bridge in music.
Yeah.
So that's what I call a bridge in a poem or something that I'm writing is, if I have two ideas and I'm like, okay, this can like, I'll have one metaphor over here where I'm talking about something to do with coal and ash, and then I'll have a metaphor over here where I'm talking about like passion and fire, and then I'm like, well, fire makes coal. I can put a line in between those and make and you know what I mean. So yeah, I make those bridges and connect pieces all the time like that.
I like that. I like it. I'm going to start calling it bridge. I'm taking that.
Yeah. Just build a bridge and get right over it. Hell yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna bring the other artists up here and see if they got any questions or comments for you. Hey guys, anything to say to James?
Awesome. I love the wordplay. And you have a message that really, really hits home. And it's like when you were talking about drinking and everything, and it brought me back to when I was in my 20s. And I didn't really stay in that mindset, but I thought that's where I wanted to be. And just you hearing that, it just brought me back to a place where I can remember where I didn't want to leave that place, but I knew I had to. And when you said that, it just brought me like, I'm happy I went through the experience because it made me who I am. But it's just one of them things when you look back and just make you think like, wow, I really put myself through some stuff just to make me a better person. We don't realize that. We really don't.
Well, it sounds like everyone in here has dealt with addiction and recovery at one point, including my producer Brandon. So I just want to say congratulations, guys, and just give yourselves a pat on the back. We're not at the lowest point of our lives anymore, and we should be thankful for that and happy about that. So,
absolutely.
Tyson, is there anything else you wanted to add?
I just want to say I love just your cadence and the whole spoken word style. I think you should do an album.
Actually, I'm working on one. That's one of the things that I have going on. Yeah, I'm trying by February. Yeah, definitely would like to come back and throw some of that stuff down for you guys in the future too, for sure.
I would definitely like to support that. Definitely would like to support that. Whenever you get everything, I would definitely support. I will definitely support that. 100%. Like I said, I support everyone because you just don't know what someone can do for you and you can do for them. So that's why I always this is not by mistake that we are here together. Agreed. So we have to take this opportunity right now to say, you know what? It's something bigger here. We just have to accept it. That's why I said I support everyone, no matter what. I support everyone.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm humbled. Yeah.
Thank you guys for supporting each other. Thank you guys for supporting me.
No doubt.
It seriously means the world. Like I literally couldn't do this without you guys. There would be no show. It would just be me sitting here in front of the camera going, look at this water bottle, guys. This is cool.
We thank you. And we thank you for the platform because without your platform, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
So
you give
for
us the
you,
voice.
I look at it like this: for you to take time out of, you could be doing anything. You know what Jay-Z said? You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. You know, that's what my big brother Jay
Yes.
said. And for you to take time out of your schedule to say, you know what, I'm going to be a therapist, because that's what you are. You pretty much are a therapist to all of us, and
I
you
got my
don't
nerves
realize
torn
that,
away.
right?
Yeah.
And for you to say, you know, and for you to be dedicated to this, I have to applaud you. Like, I really, really thank you for this platform, because it's no judgment. It's like when I came on here, I feel like I can be me. Like, it's like I'm looking at a mirror at myself, so I don't feel like I have to censor myself. I feel like I'm home here, and I thank you for this comfortable platform. I really do.
Thank you. I really
Yes.
appreciate that. And like that makes me feel so good, because like that was my ultimate goal. Some of the other shows I've been on, they're great, and they give people a platform too. But
Mm-hmm.
something I feel like they don't do is make you feel like you're just sitting in a living room hanging out with friends
Mm-hmm.
and being able to just share and be yourself. And that's the atmosphere I
Exactly.
kind of try to like. I'm in my living room. My producer Brandon is my friend. I'm sitting in my living room hanging out with friends, and that's kind of
I'm in my bedroom
that's the
chilling.
energy I kind of try to push out there. Is we're just sort of friends hanging out and just being
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. And so I appreciate that you feel that way, and especially it being your first time on the show. That's
And I
amazing.
like it how you introduce everybody. It's just not like you have guests on the show. It's like, no, we all going to politic about this together. What you got to say? Let's make this a community effort, you know. So it's just like we're
That's the
all family, and I love that. I have never been on the show where I've done something and then everybody else got up and get your feedback, you know, constructive criticism. And I
And
love that. I love it.
that's
and the
awesome. That's
unique
actually
thing, I think the unique thing about the way that you did this and what the folks don't see that's watching it is when you put us all together in the chat
Mm-hmm.
beforehand and you added us all to the chat and it was like you guys should talk and connect. That is special. That's special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was
Hmm.
excellent.
I would definitely
Yeah.
say that.
that's what
Definitely.
that's what it's all about. Like she said, it's a community. It's a
Yep.
community. 100%. That's what we're trying to build here. Thank you
I'm
guys so
sorry.
much.
I had to get something to drink. I'm so thirsty. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We're gonna get on with our second round, which brings us back to Tyson. And we've already done introduction and everything like that. So we're just gonna get right into it. What's the second piece tonight?
I'm going to be doing a Don't Forget to Lie. But before I read, I just want to preface it by saying that I personally totally support the LGBTQ plus community, and I do not endorse all the views expressed on this show. Now I'm going to get into it.
100%. And before you get into it, that is something that I was trying to. I was also trying to express to him after he did that piece is it's okay to have your opinions. It's not okay to bully other people and cause harm to other people, but it's okay to have your opinions. And I mean, this platform is for coming and being yourself, speaking your truth. Even if I don't necessarily agree with the truth, the host doesn't have to agree. The other artists don't have to agree. If they do, that's great. That's your opinion. I don't dislike or like anybody more for their opinion. I guess it's just all how you express it. And I guess using art is better than burning down buildings and throwing bricks through windows and stuff like that, which is what a lot of
Absolutely. And I'm not trying to
a
say
lot
that
of the
nobody should express their opinion. I
a
just
lot
want
of
to put
the
mine
hate
out there.
communities. What's that?
Yep. Art is art, and that's what it's all about. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I'll let you get into
all
it,
right.
please.
I forgot to lie. Now I'm eating my feet. I've forgotten how to breathe, and I don't know how to sleep. All the pretty lines and pretty girls have me weak. I'm not proud to admit it, but it's all very me. I forgot how to lie. Now I'm scooping up teeth. Little shards of plaster pouring out from my cheeks. Chomping at the bit because the rats are all free. I don't have a taste for vermin, but a boy's got to eat. I forgot how to dance. Now I'm kicking my feet. Kicking up dirt and dust and lost memories. No matter how deep the waters, I can never feel clean. Constantly reminded by her stains on my sheets. They vary in color, but the songs that they sing tell the same tale. They're all laughing at me. I forgot how to act, accept my apologies. All I ask of you, I beg you, will you please lie to me?
fantastic, man. Like I
Thank
said
you.
before, your narrative voice and the way you express things and the feelings and emotions, like it comes through so much in your voice, and just not just the things you're saying, but how you say them. You're a fantastic reader and a fantastic poet. You want to tell us a little bit about that piece and what inspired it?
I've always kind of had, the curse of doing the well-intentioned wrong thing, and it's like kind of about those moments where you want to do the right thing by being honest, but then it causes more damage than it probably should.
Yeah. The highway to hell is paved with good intentions.
Absolutely.
I have learned that lesson the hard way as well. I 100% feel that. 100%, man. That's definitely that's part of my whole motif or whatever I got going on here. My show, my poetry is, using that shit to try to like using those mistakes and to learn and grow as a person,
Absolutely. That's all you can do.
and help everybody else grow. And I've seen a lot of people make a lot of fucked up mistakes. I've made a lot of fucked up mistakes, and each one that you see, it's a lesson. It's a lesson. You got to take them as lessons. 100%.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate your kind words.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna bring the other artists up here real quick, see if they got anything to say to you.
I love that last line. Will you please lie to me? That was great. I love that. Great way to close. And it just, man, I was sitting here spinning on that. And I know I was off screen, but I'm pointing to camera. That was cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think that should be your hashtag. Don't forget to lie. So when you go up to somebody from now on, so listen, from now on, when somebody talks to them, like, you know what, before we start this conversation, don't forget to lie, okay? That's going to be my...
Yeah.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's profound, man, because everybody does. With me, anyway.
Yeah. I mean, the most common lie people tell
before we
themselves.
Start this conversation, like, don't forget to...
Yeah, the most common lie people tell themselves and other people is, "Oh, I'm okay, I'm fine." No, you're not. No, you're not.
That's my favorite one. I'll tell you real quick, I'm good.
Do.
Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I say. I'm good. You good? I'm good. But that's you have to make that a hashtag. You have to. Don't forget to lie. Like, that should be your tag. You have
make that the title of a book.
If not, I'm gonna do that. Can I do that? Can I please do that? Can I make that a title?
Oh, absolutely. Please.
Thank you. So that means when awesome. When it's time for me to do my auto book, I'm reaching out to you because I love your voice. Like, I can listen to your voice all night.
Yes,
all night. Like I could get my tea and I could just cuddle up with my Winnie the Pooh. I sleep with my Winnie the Pooh. That's my safety blanket. Don't laugh at me. I'm 40 years old and I still sleep with my Winnie the Pooh. I don't care. That's my safety blanket. I don't care. But we will cuddle up. And I'm telling you, as soon as I do my audible, I have to get in contact with you. You have to be my voiceover for the men. You have to.
Nice.
I can't put to nobody else to do that. You have to.
That's sick,
I would love to.
100%. Like I was saying, I listen to a lot of audiobooks on Audible, and that's definitely a book I would buy just for the narrator voice, for sure.
Ain't it? Like, can't you just sit there with a nice cup of cocoa? I can't have chocolate because I'm really bad allergic to chocolate. I know I was cursed with that. You should
look into you have your books on Amazon. You should look into maybe narrating one of them and getting on Audible.
That's what I've been trying to do. That's what I've been trying to do. I've really been trying to write because the last person that I talked to, he was just trying to scam. So it's like I'm just trying to find the right person to do it. Because that's already in the work. I just got to find the right person. That's all.
When I get my book out there, I'm gonna narrate it because it's like my personal like thoughts and feelings, and sort of it's hard to tell somebody else how you want, like, which words to stress, like which words to be angry, which words to stay calm, and like, whatever, like you gotta perform things in a certain way. And so I'm gonna try to self-publish through Amazon, and then try to work out some kind of deal where I can because Audible is a part of Amazon, so I'm sure they have some kind of audiobook system.
That's what I did. I self-published both of my books. That's exactly what I did.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
same.
definitely. I mean, there's arguments to be made on both sides, but definitely in this day and age, bigger than it's ever been, and definitely like self publishing is a good way to go. I mean,
It is.
with traditional publishing, you get a bigger pie, but more people are eating it. With
Yep.
self publishing, you get a smaller pie, but you get it all to yourself.
Exactly.
So, yeah, 100%.
I
Anyway,
mean,
guys,
I can tell you from this recording experience that I'm working on right now. Any of you guys want to, talk about, creating a recording of your book or something like that? Message me, later on when we connect and stuff, because I got a lot of knowledge in that area. I've been cramming that stuff in for about 3 months, and I could probably point you in a good direction.
I would
Hell
definitely
yeah.
like to connect with everyone after this. Like, I think all of us need to network on some kind of level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch after this.
Exactly. I was about to say, because we can all help each other in some kind of ways. Like, we're all the missing pieces to each other's puzzle, and that's so crazy.
That group chat,
definitely.
that group chat he mentioned, I make one. So I make one for each artist, and I label it the date of the show or whatever, and I make one for each week. But I don't close those. I leave those open. I mute them. So they don't blow up my phone if they're going off. I'm always in there, checking them, and I'll talk to the artist. Usually right after the show, I talk to the artist when we end the live stream. I'll talk to you guys on here for a little bit afterwards. And I always keep up with you guys in Messenger and invite you guys back on the show. And you guys want to send me stuff you're doing, and I want to get on your show. The show that James is doing. I want to see if I can pop in on that at some point. That would be great. And I'm going to check out all you guys' books. Yeah, we're gonna move forward and get on with the rest of the show. With Authoress and James, real quick. I believe she is next in the rotation. We'll bring her back up here. What's the next piece you're gonna be doing?
Football.
All right.
Since it is football season, I'm sure that all the guys will appreciate this one. Okay. There are 16 weeks of not being heard or seen. Not to mention the 6 to 7 weeks of unmasked anger and unstrained anger. Just to hear, baby, I was watching the game. I know how important every second of the game is important, but I guarantee you this is better. I'm not asking for too much. Just a 30-minute of playtime and a halftime rush. I would do anything for him to climb through my tight end. I'm trying to give him hidden tails without no penalties, no coin toss needed. As I set up the line of scrimmage, I'm at the front. There's a hole in the opening, and I'm going for it. Bang. Hit out of bounds. Really? Highlights. I have ESPN. We can watch them later. Let's go. Second and down. There's another opening. Bang. I'm going down at the 30. Hit again. How can you tweet at a time like this? Like, this is endless pleasure, my dude. How can you not mess up a chance with this? Okay. Back at the line of scrimmage. Third down. We at it again. Bing. Really? You really want to sit there and you want to hoop and holler at a screen about a play that didn't go right, and you didn't seen it about a half an hour ago? That's more important than this right now? Okay. Timeout. Come on, hormones. This is our last chance, and I'm not trying to mess nothing up. Let's get it together. Ready, break. Fourth down. Everything is ready. The phones, the TV is off, and I'm ready. I'm going down. I shift down the hand on the navel. The boxes is off. The running back is out. The quarterback is ready, and I see it hit. I'm going. Bang. Hit. Legs are open. Inside the scrimmage. Touchdown. I told you football is kind of funny when you do it right and stop worrying about everything that's not important. I tell you, go ahead and take a break. I got my rest. In peace.
Yo, that was dope. That was dope. Yo, the metaphors, it was fucking funny. Yo, that was dope, man. Oh, you're muted. You're muted. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're good. Yo, that was dope.
Please don't look at me different.
No. Yo, last week we had 4 erotic pieces on here. People were up here talking about pussies and all sorts of shit. All sorts of shit. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I mean that the way you use the metaphors, and I think that's like that's a relatable situation for a lot of people, whether you're a male or female on both sides of the relationship. And I love how you used the football game because like that I know I like football, but I'm not personally like this, but I know most guys in my life, football games on, doesn't matter if the house is burning down, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't matter.
We out here to see some touchdowns. We out here. I love how you use that as a metaphor, and just like how you got more frustrated throughout it, and you're just like, all right, motherfucker, like, are we gonna do this or not? Like, come on, like, yo, I like that. That was fantastic. That was excellently written. I that's probably one of my, and I do a lot of these shows, and I always say this, but that's probably one of my favorite pieces I've ever heard on the show. So
I'm gonna have to send you the audio because I recorded it. It's on Google Play, so I definitely have to send it to you so you can hear. I got the music, I got the Madden music, and behind it and everything. It's really dope.
That's awesome. All right, yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Real quick, I'm just gonna bring James and Tyson back up here. I don't know if Tyson is on with us. He's got his camera off, but James, is there anything you'd like to say?
You know what? When you said you have it on Google Play with the Madden music behind it, when you were reading it, I was sitting here playing that music in my head. So when you talk about connection, that like you said, there's no coincidences because that shit is like that was imprinted. I was like, I can hear it, and see that Fox robot that comes on before the commercial dance. I was like, it was all immersed. Yeah, it was cool. That was cool.
I wrote that. I'm not gonna lie. It took me 15 minutes to write that. And I'm a sports fanatic. Like when I say I'm a sports fanatic, that's my thing. Like when the sports is on, please don't say nothing to me. Please don't. Just give me my highlights and shut up. But I was at dinner with a couple of my homegirls and they hate sports. Like when I say they hate everything about sports, they hate it. So we were sitting there, and one of my good girlfriends, her husband had called and told her to, record the game. So she got mad. So I'm like, what are you getting mad for? She's like, oh my God, here you go with the football and this and that. I said, don't he sit there and don't he watch Love and Hip Hop with you? Yeah, I said, okay, then shut up and watch Sports Center. Because when I get up in the morning, I have on Sports Center. And if Sports Center is not playing, then we have a whole problem, like a big problem. A big problem. I need to know. I need to know what's going on. I don't care. I don't even watch golf, but I want to know what's going on just because I know it's going to be on the highlights. And that's how it works.
Are you watching, babe? Do you hear that?
You want me to send her the poem? Want me to send her the poem? Talk to you. You want me to send her the poem? I'm telling you, the first time I did that poem, one of the people that was when I had first did this, she actually got pregnant off of my poem. I was like, oh, I'm dope. I know. My poetry make babies, like, but I really take that from a woman's point of view. But I'm sitting there and I'm looking like you can make football fun. And I be telling women all the time, I'm like, when it's halftime, that's when you have to make your move. If you don't do it through halftime, oh honey, you are stuck. That you're at the end of the game. And I tell everybody, you gotta wait. If his team is losing, that's when you're going to get him the most because he's emotional. That's when you can get anything out of him. And they look at me, and I'm like, you stupid. I'm like, I'm giving you the man's handbook. Like, when your team, like, for instance, when the Ravens was losing to the Steelers.
These are the secrets.
I'm sorry. My bad. I forget. My bad. Sometimes I be forgetting. My bad. But I be trying to help everybody out.
I'm from Wisconsin, man. We are Green Bay Packer fans here. It is born into you. You have no choice.
I don't care. As long as y'all don't like the Steelers, I don't care. My team is the Raiders. I live in Baltimore, and I love the Ravens. Don't get me wrong, but we haven't had a team for a while. So the Raiders always been my boy. Now I'm purple and black. Don't get me wrong. I'm going for my team. But we not playing, oh, I'm black and silver all day, honey. Black and silver all day. And then with basketball, I'm a Celtics fan. So green and white all day. That's just how
I got Milwaukee Bucks.
Like I said,
y'all got a good team. Oh, y'all got a nice lineup. Ooh,
like I said,
I'm
a football fan, but I'm not like a fanatic. I'm not like, don't bother me if the game's on. I don't even watch every game of the season or whatever, but I like the game, and in my family, like it's definitely something that's like it's like a religion in my family, especially around this time of the year, like Thanksgiving and we out here in the New England, the Brady era. Not now.
Right. I was about to say that.
Not right now. I want to say that right now because right now, but the Brady era, 100% go team. That's my team right there.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. And now that Aaron Rodgers not playing, I don't know. He be back though. I really feel like, I don't know, he has some type of auto body or something. Like he's got a new body. He's going to come back. Like
he'll come back.
He's coming back.
He'll come back looking like RoboCop, just like a robot from the neck down, just passing fucking 100-yard touchdowns.
Yep.
Exactly. I'm just waiting. Like,
hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap up the show. We got James' last piece, and then I'm gonna do one more piece for you before we get out of here. So I'm gonna just drop you guys down out of here. And James, what is your second piece?
So the second piece is called Drive, and it's a road poem. This one I wrote about 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago. On my way, I had a 2-hour drive. So I'm in central Wisconsin. I had to go down by Madison to Spring Green to a really cool venue. And this is one of those things, like she said, that football piece she wrote in 15 minutes. I'm literally in the car, turning the music down and holding my phone up and dictating about 80% of this in like 15 minutes. Just driving down the road, and my head, you know how it is when you're going down the highway and you're looking at shit, and then your brain kind of goes off like this, all a flutter and shit. And that's what happened. So I'm gonna just roll with it, and then we can talk about it afterwards. But that's pretty much the premise. So,
all right, dude.
All right, called Drive. Painted lines, green highway signs, reflection stripes, and brush-colored brush. Velvety violet gray asphalt on the ground, gravelly grooved concrete slush. Beautiful traction. And I look around hard on believing, above the sun's beating, the air streaming, and the sound of tires and motors screaming. How the road can fill up the hollow inside. Roads between here, there, and everywhere, stifling my running hide, deflating my polka dot parachute, and generally pacifying my jitterbuggy mind. So I don't give a shit. So I don't care about any of it. Is it mental masturbation, thought process subjugation, subjective signals and information, distraction, reaction, extrasensory perception dumbed down? And I frown because I lost my place. I lost the why I'm in this fucking race. And then again, was it even a race in the first place? Or just monkey shines all the time? Or is it all in my mind? Damn. Energy beaming, batshit country, rat riddled, visual hallucination, audible paradiddle, telepathy steaming along, fortune teller programming, rewiring, wrong. Code flaw, ball crystal mystic, some source sending misery, poison program psyche, energy algorithm pissing on me, duality interchange, one way a captive, one way free, most days neither switchback even feels like me. Man, I shake my head, ears ringing in dread, tears in my eyes, blood pressure rise, and I tell myself to focus on the road ahead and just fucking drive.
Pardon if I commit blasphemy here, but Holy Mary of Mother fucking God. You wrote that off the top of your head in the car?
Yeah.
That blew my fucking mind, dude. That was crazy. Like you're just, I mean, you're just out here with these abstract pictures and then painting
It's
them.
my brain, yeah. I tell you, the batshit country. So I'm sitting there, I'm driving along, and I'm like, green signs, painted lines.
Yeah, taking all the things from your drive, but like
Yeah.
painting, like you kind of like took all the things that you're seeing onto on a canvas, and then you painted them in with like your feelings and your emotions, and then created this big picture, and with all these like crazy fucking words and just like, dude, it just blows my mind. Part of the reason this show is so hard for me sometimes is because I have to run the show and then also react to people's things. But when I'm busy like being blown away and reacting and like going over what I just heard in my head, sometimes it's like it's hard to get my thoughts together because I'm just so like I'm just so blown away by it, and I definitely like that was wow. That was just wow. That's all I got to say about that. So fantastic. That. I'm gonna bring everybody up here to see what they thought about it. I think we still got Tyson out on us. That's okay. We'll bring him up just in case. You got anything you want to say?
I just want to let him know that he got me writing. After we finish this, when I say I'm going to write, I don't know what I'm going to write, but my pen is feeling itchy. And when my pen is feeling itchy, I got to go with it. It got that writing itch, so I got to go along with it. But that piece, it really hit home on many levels, so many levels. Like I always think outside of a box, and when a person say a poem, I try to break it down in 4 different ways possible for me to put it into my life. When I say what you were saying, like it hits home more so than what you think. That was really, really, really dope.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you definitely fucking wow, man. That's crazy. And when I hear something that like next level, like you were saying, it makes me want to go. It's like, oh, my pen game ain't strong enough. I gotta go.
Exactly. That's how I'm feeling.
Competition, and I love it. It's
I
fantastic.
loved it, and that's what I'm needing because I've been having writer's block for the last like 2 weeks. And after that, matter of fact, I'm not even going to say that. This whole experience, this whole interview just put me back in the mindset like I got to write now. I got to write. I don't know where that writer's block comes from, but it just disappeared. So I'm about to come out with some hot stuff now.
I get that. I get writer's block more than any other writer that I know, or at least that they'll admit to. And I mean, like half my songs that I've written, have my raps and stuff are about writer's block, and then I come out with this like 2-page thing that is all about me not being able to write. It's like, well, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I definitely get that. That. Yeah. Writer's block is a huge thing for me, and this show and being on other people's shows and stuff like that, you know, hearing other people's stuff, it inspires me and encourages me to like. I have a couple artists that I've been on the show with that I'm collaborating on songs and stories with right now. And one individual, his name's Caleb. He's been on the show like 3 or 4 times. He's fantastic, and he raps. And you know, some of the stuff he does, it'll be a rap like that he made up in the car in like 6 minutes. And me and him, he'll send me a verse, and then I'll start from like the last sentence or the last word of what he said, and I'll go off of that, and we just send each other verses back and forth, and it's so productive and it's so amazing, and I love the community and the networking that we build with this show. And
that's why I say you definitely need that when I look at it like this, when you're a writer matter of fact, not even just a writer, when you're an artist, you need that community. Because it's so hard. I don't care what nobody say. And I've tried so hard to do it on my own way. I don't need nobody. I got this. Like when I first came up, because so many people were just trying to used my name for their game. So it got to the point to where like I don't need nobody. But after I started thinking, I do need people. I can't do this by myself because if I'm not feeling my best, who can I go to talk to? And I need people, especially in the community. Like, don't get me wrong, you can go to your friends, but how many of your friends are really writers or artists like you? They do enough just to make you comfortable. You know what I'm saying? For the talk to. But they not going to give you what you really need. That's why I always go to my producer. Like when I'm having problems with writing anything, I always go to him. And he always give me what I need. So you really need that community. You can't do this by yourself. No artist can.
100
And I don't care
percent.
who you are, who you think you are, Beyonce, Rihanna, they need people. I don't care
Yeah,
what nobody
absolutely.
says. You need
Absolutely.
someone. You definitely
Connection,
need someone. And networking is
connection is essential.
It's just who you
Absolutely.
connect with. You just can't connect with everybody. That's the only problem. But
No,
that
yeah,
connection and networking,
it's finding the right people and the energy that comes in and goes
that
out.
match.
100%. Well, thank you
And I
guys for
definitely
coming on and helping me build this community, and I can't wait to have you guys on again. I'll catch you guys one more time before the end of the show. I'll just bring you up just to say goodbye and thank you all. But before that, I'm going to read a piece.
yes.
And this piece is called 10 Responses to the Question, How Old Are You? Which is the question.
I like that.
By the way, I'm 22, but it is the question that I get asked, that I've gotten asked most in my life, because I started writing at such a young age, and people would be like, damn, how old are you? Or I'd say some shit or some provocative shit, and they'd be like, how old are you? You know what I mean? So it's the question that I'm most tired of fucking hearing in my life.
Like, how tall am I? I get tired of hearing that. How tall are you?
Yeah,
None of your business.
I mean, I'm my mom was 4'11". I'm not much taller at 5'4". So I definitely get it. I've probably not as much as you, but I have dealt with short jokes my whole life. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna drop you guys down, and yeah, this piece. Oh, hold on. There we go. This piece is called, God damn it, if my computer would work. There we go. This piece is called 10 Responses to the Question, How Old Are You? 1. Old enough to know better and young enough not to care. That is to say, old enough to know that most people aren't going to really listen to someone my age, but young enough to speak anyway. Old enough that I should probably know better and just keep my mouth shut so I don't piss anyone off, but young enough that the world hasn't silenced me yet. 2. Give me a straight razor and I will gladly shave away my masculinity so that you can see the boy beneath it. I will gladly shave this or shed this manly skin that I've been forced to grow into to meet your expectations. The question is, will you still recognize me afterward? 3. Do you judge a basketball player by the number of games he's played in, or do you judge him by the number of shots he's made and or missed? Do you judge a book by the number of chapters it has, or by the story it's told? Do you judge a mother by how many kids she has, or by how much she loves them? Do you judge a poem by the length of the prose, or by how it made you feel inside? Do you ever just stop judging? 4. Don't ask me about the places I've gone or how far I've traveled. Ask me what it took to get there. Don't ask me how many scars I have. Ask me how I got them. Don't ask me how many people I have had time to love. Ask me how much I have loved the ones that I have lost. 5. Who do you think knows more about being a man? The 18-year-old who just left his family, his friends, and his life behind to get shipped off to Afghanistan so that he can make sure those same people he's leaving behind can have freedom and safety and security, even if he can't be with them to share it? Or the 21-year-old in the dive bar of some suburbs of Northern California throwing up his first scorpion bowl? 6. Give me a cup and I will fill it with the tears I have shed over the years and the ones that I have yet to shed, so that 21-year-old can get drunk off my pain and tell me that his glass is still half empty. 7. Put on my shoes and tell me they're still a size too small to be in the adult section at Walmart. Then walk a mile in them and show me the bruises and blisters on your feet afterward. Stand above me and tell me I still have some growing to do, but not before you've seen me at my lowest and been there to witness how high I've climbed. 8. When giving a presentation on what a man should look like, please, for the love of God, don't show me another Coors Light commercial with two men sitting on the beach having a cold one. Don't show me another Ram truck commercial that proclaims in big, strong, bold letters, "You can move mountains with this truck." Don't show me a cereal commercial that lies and tells you that tricks are just for kids. Show me the magic of believing that rabbits really can be pulled from a hat. Show me childish fantasies and make pretend games. Show me backyard playdates with friends you thought you'd have forever. Show me the picture you drew in school when your teacher asked what you wanted to be when you grew up. Show me the list of people who actually accomplished that goal and are living their dream. Show me the list of people who are still trying. Show me the list of people who gave up. Show me the list of people who got caught up in life and just forgot about it. Show me the lessons you learned along the way. Show me the Nerf dart you accidentally got pegged in the face with at 5 years old because you hadn't quite learned not to trust your older brother. Show me the blanket fortress that taught you not to let anyone in. Show me the park slide that taught you, the metal park slide that taught you that you have to cover yourself up in life so you don't get burned. Giving a presentation on what a man should look like, introduce me to a boy who feels like he holds the whole weight of the world on his shoulders. A boy who knows that there's still magic in it anyway. A boy who knows that his dreams are still possible. A boy who is forced to learn life's hard lessons early on and has the scars to show for it. Introduce me to a man who believes that he can move mountains because, God damn it, it wouldn't be the heaviest thing he's carried on his shoulders. 9. Back in my day, we didn't ask such judgmental questions. We just accepted people for who they are. 10. Old enough to know that life is far too short to get hung up on such trivial things as age, and old enough to know that I have far too much left to experience and not nearly enough time. So that is my piece called 10 Responses to the question, how old are you? It is an answer to those questions and also just kind of my view on what it means to be a man and, you know, not just a man, but a woman, whatever gender you want to place there. But own your identity and yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna bring up our other artists to see what they thought about it. Who's got some feedback?
You know what? Now I'm going to do a point. I'm going to piggyback off of that and say 10 questions when somebody asks me how tall I am. Like, I got to do even about my height now. I got to.
Yeah. Hey, listen, that line in there, number 6 or number 5, whichever one it was, that line in there, that stand above me, tell me I still have some growing to do.
Exactly. That's what made me think about it. Like,
lowest, see how far I've rise. Absolutely. Like that line was for you. That, you know what I mean?
Let me write that down. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. So that way I know.
I like the concept. I like the concept, the whole concept. And, you know, I am not young anymore. I wish I was, but I'm not. I'm not.
You look like you're no longer older than 26. Who you fooling?
I am 52 years old. Ain't no doubt about it.
You're lying. Let me see your birth certificate.
I am not. But I will tell you this.
I work at Dollar General. I wouldn't sell you cigarettes.
Yeah. The thing that I will say is that I know what it's like to be your age and asked how old are you, and for people to look at that through like an experience type of paradigm. And you know what I can tell you is keep doing what you're doing, because at some point potential becomes expectation and things get a lot tougher. And if I could go back then and you know, and be able to and embrace the fact that I was young, like what you're doing with that, Pete, and just saying I am what I am, and I am man, and I am good with it. I not so much for me. I didn't, and I wish I would have. That's a lesson that I would have learned, and something that you've obviously figured out. So kudos to you for that. Great concept, good piece.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and first of all, it's never too late. Second of all, that is a quote that I'm like writing on my wall. Potential becomes expectation. That is something that like I feel on such a deep level right now. I mean, I've been hosting this show for like 3 months. When I started off, it was potential. I had the talent, but I wasn't very good in front of the camera. The only thing I was good at was writing. You know, I wasn't good at this computer stuff very much. I wasn't good, you know what I mean? I had to teach myself all this, but then I realized, like, you know, this is great and all. Now that I finally did this, but now it comes the expectation part. Now comes the responsibility. And I mean, I was telling you a little bit before the show, I just became a manager at Dollar General, and I'm excited, you know, to do all the manager things and have that responsibility. But at the same time, and they're, you know, everybody's telling me you're doing great, you know, and they're trusting me with more and more things, and that's awesome. But at the same time, you're like, oh, I have all this trust, I have all this responsibility. But you have all this responsibility, and like Spider-Man would say, with great power comes great responsibility. Another way of saying, like he said, potential.
I think the key, I think the key to it is constantly reinventing who we are, how we represent our work as artists, and continually reinventing. Because as long as you're reinventing and changing and growing, potential is always there. It never catches up. And you know, my addiction, they pulled me through that point where it started becoming expectation. And I'm back to that point now where I'm going to continually keep pushing that envelope, because even at my age, I can still say that I got potential moving forward. And that is, you know, that's young again. And that is, you know, I think the essence of your piece is security within that. So,
exactly.
Well, thank you.
I'm going to agree with what he said. Definitely.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, that's like I said, like I've been saying the whole show. I mean, that is the whole goal here. You know, that is part of my whole mission here. You know, that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm so grateful that you guys see it. I mean, it's your first time on the show, and I've already made you guys feel comfortable. So I'm so thankful for that. Thank you guys so much for being on the show. Real quick, I gotta tell you, I dig your NSYNC look you got going on. The earrings. I dig that. I've been wanting to say that also. I just didn't have the right time for it.
Yep. Thank you. You know what? You know what? Honestly, I wish I could say I put a lot of thought into it. So when I got clean, it's like I said, Sunday will be 2 years. I stopped cutting it, and that is it. That is it. And I wish it. Now it's becoming a trademark. They go, you know him. Who? The guy that don't own a comb, you know? Yeah. So there we have
congratulations on your sobriety on Sunday.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
Congratulations. Drink an apple juice. I'm gonna drink an apple juice for you, and cheers to you. Congratulations.
100%.
Good job.
Absolutely.
Good job. You done went over the hump.
Congratulations. And like I was saying before, everybody on here has struggled with addiction. All four of us on here. Tyson, he probably had some emergency going on, but I'd just like to thank all three of you. Thank you all so much for coming on. It has been like truly a blessing, and I can't thank you enough. And I'd love to have you guys back on.
Definitely. Anytime. Just let me know when I'll be there.
Just message me on Facebook. We'll look it up. And I'm definitely can't wait to check out all you guys' stuff. One more time, I'll just plug you guys' stuff real quick. Tyson, you can follow him on TikTok at tyson.wallace.po or on Instagram at Tyson Wallace Poetry. He's got a book out on Amazon called Passages in the Life of a Buffalo. James, you can follow him on Facebook at James Hamilton Author. Or on YouTube at James Hamilton 8243. And he's got a whole list of books out on Amazon. So go to Amazon and type in James Hamilton, and you should find all of them. And make sure you go check out Homegirl over here with her new book in 6 days, and the book that's already out, which is the first. So read the first book and then read the second book. And go check her out on YouTube at RED Designs 956. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys for coming on. And
thank you for having me. It was definitely a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Peace out.
Peace
Have
out.
a good night.
I'll catch everyone next week when you tune in.
Definitely.
Have a good one, everyone.